Hi everyone, and welcome to English 333 Advanced Comp for Future Teachers for the fall 2018 semester. I'm really excited. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. My name is Dr. Kim Jackson. You can call me Kim, would be my preference. And this online class is, I hope, going to be a good community for us to think about the teaching of writing, particularly the teaching of writing for little kids. I'm gonna try, I promise this every semester, and I'm pretty good about the first 6 weeks. And then of course we all get really busy, but I try to post a video, if not weekly, bi-weekly, with the intention of, first of all, just so we can, I hope sometimes you post video too, just so we can see that, yep, actual real human. But also to use it to kind of extend some of the explanations, or so that you can hear the tone, because sometimes just in writing it's really hard to know like how important something is, and sometimes a little explanation in a video can help you understand tone or intention. So that's the point of the videos, is just kind of augment and supplement some of the instructions that are on the website. So first thing you're going to notice is that I don't use Blackboard Learn. I'm a really big believer in, particularly, I kind of think everybody, but certainly future teachers should be using platforms and tools that exist in the world, and not tools that are only meant for school. And so I don't use Blackboard Learn because I'm also trying to connect you to communities of other teachers, and that's very hard to do behind that LMS. So, and I'm also just I study digital literacy, so I think a lot about the open web and the need to keep it open. So that's why my own website. We'll be using just another platform called G+, Google+, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I'm going to talk to you about the book and some of the structures and some things you need to do in this first week. Probably the first thing you want to know, important thing, is which book we're using. You just have to buy one book. I hope that'll make you happy. There's so many good books, it's hard to pick, but I don't want you to have to spend tons of money because we're all broke, right? So this is my newest favorite book. We've been using it now for, I think this is the third semester, and students are really loving it. So it's by Katie Wood Ray with Lisa Cleveland. It's called About the Authors. And I think one of the things I love about it is you get to see such great examples of little kid writings, particularly if you've never written with, say, first graders and second graders. This book helps give you a real sense of the kinds of things they can do, and should probably blow you away. She's also really good at helping you notice interesting work that's going on in little kid writing, which is hard to do. And it's all a supported curriculum, so that I'm hoping a lot of the practices that are in this text will help you think about setting up your own writer's workshop in your classes across the spectrum. Even though it's focused on first and second graders or so, I find it really useful. I've taught college writing now for over 20 years, and I can always find something that I can ramp up for my own students or my own level of learners, just from the ideas in her text. She has a lot of books. This is one of her more current ones. So that's the only book. And I'm hoping that you'll buy it soon. I don't use it until about week 3 to give you some time. I, of course, didn't order it through the Chico State Bookstore because most of you aren't even in Chico. And so, Amazon, I think, is the link that I have there. Should come pretty quickly. We'll read every word, so you'll definitely get your money's out. And I hope it's a book that you leave on your shelf. It's not a textbook. It's a professional book meant for teachers who are currently practicing educators. So I'm hoping it's a book that you can use and return to as well. So that's the book. The course is organized around a series of make cycles, and I borrow that term from some folks that I work with at UC Irvine, who are part of the Connected Learning Alliance theory of learning. And make cycles allow us to think about the connections between writing and making. So we'll have 2 weeks kind of focused in on some of the genres that stem from the Common Core, so that you also get some familiarity with that. So we'll have a couple of weeks where we're focused on narrative, a couple of weeks where we're focused on expository writing, a couple of weeks where we're focused on argument and multimodal writing. We'll end by making some lesson plans and sharing those with each other, and then some reflection. I don't think of writing as that tidy. I don't think of any text that someone writes as being strictly narrative or strictly expository. So, you know, I'm not a fan of someone teaching a mode like just write a narrative essay. But I do think it's helpful when we're thinking about the teaching of it to zoom in on an aspect of writing and kind of pull it apart and think about how we teach that element. So that's why the focus. So what will happen is every 2 weeks, I will release a new make cycle with a little calendar, but you can count on some routines. The first week is usually reading in about the authors, except for this first little round because we don't have the book yet. Reading in about the authors and doing some discussion posts and responding to each other about those ideas. And then week 2 of a make cycle, you're going to read some mentor texts, which are usually children's books. And I borrowed that idea from this great book and thinker. I can't go the right way on the video. Mentor Text, Teaching Writing Through Children's Literature K through 6. And she's got another one too that's like Mentor Text Through Nonfiction Texts. But it's Lynn Dorfman, who you can look for, or Rose Capelli, but Lynn Dorfman has a few. Great resource. And what a mentor text is, and a lot of you who have been in creative writing this will be a familiar structure for you, where you take a form or a structure or a sentence pattern you like or a theme you like, and you use that to think about how you might do your own writing. So often we'll read a children's book, and I'll have you think through in that children's book, what are some of the patterns that you notice or the structures, because this is what you can do with little kids. And then you'll do some writing kind of building off of that. I hope playful, and we're going to do our best to make it not the suck. That's the trick. So week 1, talking about the authors, what are we noticing? Week 2, working with some children's books and mentor texts, and then ending with your own with your own piece of writing. And there'll be a huge range of things we'll do. And again, playful. I'm a big fan of you do the thing. In fact, my students who know me before know that my thing I say is just do the thing. You do the thing, I'll give you the points. I'm not a big stickler in like, this is a 7 out of 10 or this is an 8 out of whatever. I don't like to play school. So in the beginning, will be trying to norm you. I do expect the post to be fairly meaty. I'm usually asking for a 2 to 3 or longer paragraph post, because the only way to demonstrate participation in an online class is to make something or do some writing. So, but I will norm you. Like if I'm feeling like, this isn't quite long enough, or this isn't quite getting at the ideas, I'll send you a private email and be like, can you expand on that? And I'll try to support you. So my goal is to give you all the credit for all this labor that you're doing. So I hope you take some risks and come to see this as just a safe space to try out some ideas. When we're asking writers, especially young writers, to do things, they're taking risks with their writing, and so I think it's useful for us to try it on too and remember how hard writing is. I always say I don't like writing. I love having written. I love when my piece of writing is done. So we're going to take that challenge together. So that's the book. Make Cycles. The first one's up. And you'll notice that we're starting with introductions because it's really important in a writing community that we do build some community. So I'm asking you, and I'll talk about G+ in just a sec, to post an introduction. Please, I'm begging you to upload a picture. It could be of your dog or a place you like. It doesn't have to be of you, but it would be cool if it was, so we can see each other. And like I said, build some community. And there's a place where you can upload a photo or a video, put a link to something, and you'll notice that I have a how-to video on the G+ post. So in the introduction, I'm hoping you'll just tell us, like, who are you? Where are you from? Why do you want to go into teaching? Whatever feels appropriate to you. I'll post one too, just to kind of model. And then every time, and this is our routine, you will respond to a peer's post. So every time, you're going to write one and respond to one. So look for someone who doesn't have a response yet, or one that resonates with you. And for these intro ones, I'm just expecting that, make a connection to another human being. Things like, hey, wow, I'm from Fresno too. Or I also have played soccer for 10 years. Or yes, I also have a couple of really awesome children, or whatever. Just hoping you'll chime in and say hey to each other every time. So if you're the first person to post, I'm sorry, but you got to come back after someone's posted, but it usually moves pretty quickly. and write something nice to another human being. So G Plus. G Plus, Google Plus, is part of your Chico State package as a Google Educator campus. So you shouldn't need it. You don't need a separate login, but you can use whichever of your Google, if you have a different Google Drive, Google account than your Chico State one, that works too. It's just that you shouldn't need another login. I think it works best, and I say this in the video, if you go ahead and log into your Wildcat Mail or your Google Drive and then click the link into our G Plus community that I have at the front of our site and in every email I send you and in the Make cycle. Any one of those G Plus links, I have them everywhere. Once you're logged in, if you click in, it should take you straight into our group, and I think you just need to click accept, saying that you're in the group. Don't stress if you have problems, just email me. I'll get right back to you. I'll make sure it's all okay. This is low stakes stress, but it is where we'll post everything all semester is in this G Plus community. I use it because I think just aesthetically, it's so much more interesting than Blackboard, and I think you'll notice that right away. It's very easy to include image and video. It's really easy to get into discussions on the G Plus, and again, it's a thing that exists on the planet that you could use long after you've left Chico State, so just to get familiar with that. With any of these digital platforms, I'm just asking you to be your least cynical selves and just try it out, and I will help so that it hopefully isn't just a exercise in frustration. So that's it. Our website and the G Plus community is really kind of our core. I'm going to ask you to play with all kinds of digital platforms, including in the next week, trying out Story Jumper to make your own stories. But again, you know, there'll be lots of options for those assignments, but I'm always going to give you a techie one to give a shot that you can use with kids in your classrooms. I think that's all that's on my list of things, and this can get too long and boring. So that's all I'm going to talk about for now. I'll post an introduction post too, and then try to keep you updated every week or so. I will do my best to post a new video, and it will always be, there's a page that's weekly videos, but it'll also always be on the front page of our website. I'm super excited to get started. Like really excited. Like I'm ready for that. I always love the fall semester. Just met the new incoming English majors a couple days ago. They're just so cute. They're getting younger. I'm getting older and they're getting younger, and they're so excited. It's so fun to see the new crew. So yeah, here we go. We'll look forward to having you in class.